Hi, I'm Bess Jowsey, Pasture to Profit Consultant for LIC. Together with AHDB, I'm going to give you my top tips for better grazing management. Allocating pasture correctly to an all-year-round or high-yielding herd can be a real challenge. This is because it's often difficult for cows to develop good grazing behaviours when they're fed high or varying levels of supplementation. Time and effort into calculating good grass allocation is going to help you achieve better residuals and grass utilisation. This is going to allow you to maintain better pasture quality across the grazing season, and this is also going to allow for increased productivity from milk from grass. The first thing you'll need to do is calculate your herd demand on grass. That means knowing how many cows are going out into your grazing herd and working backwards from how many kilograms of dry matter in total are being fed per cow indoors, so that you can work out your kilograms of dry matter of grass intake per cow per day. You'd multiply those together, so that's your number of cows times grass dry matter intake per day. In my example here, that just equals just under 2 tonnes of grass dry matter required to fully feed the herd for 24 hours. You'll then need to calculate your supply of grass, and usually that's done on a specific paddock, for example. So you'll need to measure your pre-grazing cover or estimate your pre-grazing cover on the field, minus your target residual, and then multiply that by the size of the field. So in my example here, which has a pre-grazing cover of just over 2,900, minus my target residual of 1,600, times by this hectare, 4.9 hectares on this field, there's just over 6.5 tonnes of grass dry matter available to be consumed on that paddock. Once you've worked out your demand and your supply, then you can look at calculating quite accurately how many days of grazing should be on that field. So using your total demand of dry matter available on the field and dividing that by your herd demand, so in this example 6.5 tonnes divided by just under 2 tonnes, means that there's 3.3 days of grazing on this field. Now, one thing to be mindful of is if you're grazing a paddock for more than 2 days, the grass is going to continue to grow while the cows are grazing across it. So this 3.3 days in this example is actually more likely to be at least 3.5, possibly up to even 4 days of grazing. So your demand situation will change quite regularly. So each time your herd size changes or the level of feeding gets altered, you'll need to recalculate the demand side of the situation. And obviously also each time you enter a new field, you'll need to recalculate the supply of grass on that particular field and work out your number of days grazing in the new field.